to the AwareWolvvves podcast.
Slick Living Gang. Woo!
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the AwareWolvvves podcast. I go by the name of Khleo Thomas, aka Mr. Slick Living, aka Slick James, aka, say it with me, slicker than your average. Guys, last week, last week was such an eventful week for me. So many great things, so much great energy. It felt really, really cool to see the world kind of react the way it did. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm pretty sure you guys already know. Last week, on this particular date, it was the 15th anniversary of Kheo's debut in theaters, its theatrical debut. Incredible feeling to know that 15 years later, the film has stood the test of time. The story has stood the test of time. The characters have stood the test of time. For it to still have a great impact when it's brought up, people have all these memories related to this film, whether it be with friends, whether it be within school, whether it be with their families. It's one of those films, man. And even for me, I'm a fan. I'm a genuine fan of this movie. Like I really do. I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the story. I just happen to be in it. But in all reality, if I wasn't in it, I would enjoy that film. So like I said, last week was the 15th anniversary. That means 15 years ago, Kheo's hit theaters, man. And I thought it would be cool. I'm not going to lie. I thought it'd be funny and kind of cool to, put the old jumpsuit on. A lot of people don't know. I mean, you guys really don't know. But no, I still have the jumpsuit that I wore in the film. I have that orange jumpsuit. I have the camo bucket hat that I wear in the film as well. I have all of those. I even have, well, first of all, I have to thank my mom for keeping all of these things. She has all this stuff at her house. So not only do I have the orange jumpsuit, I have the camo bucket hat. I even have the hand wraps that Caveman puts around Zero's hands after he gets his hands cut open from the shovel when Caveman almost falls off the mountain. Those wraps that they wrap my hand with, I even have those still. I should have put those on in the picture as well. But anyway, I thought it would be cool to celebrate the 15th anniversary by putting the old jumpsuit on, donning it one more time. Not only the jumpsuit, but the hat, picking up a shovel, taking a few photos, and putting them out there online. And man, the reaction was everything that I thought it would be. Or to be honest, I thought it would be more toward the people who already followed me. I knew it would be a great thing for them to see. I didn't expect for it to go viral the way it did. Like, Twitter really took that picture and it just took off. I mean, the fact that E! News made a whole highlight video about it, and even highlighted me, to really say, what Khleo Thomas has really been up to, these past 15 years, which is funny because you can kind of take it in both ways. To jump off track for a second, it's very interesting. The entertainment industry is a very interesting thing. The people in it, the business of it, it's a very interesting thing. The fact that it can be said, oh, I believe the title of the video is like, oh, whatever happened to Khleo Thomas? Like, is it like as if either something bad happened to me or I just fell off the earth completely? Now, mind you, I understand why that is the title of it, because Kheo's was such a big, impactful film, and the character Zero is so impactful in people's lives that I guess the industry and the people in it I guess were looking for a follow-up thing. I guess from me in a sense, it's not to say that I didn't, it's not to say that I didn't have, Walking Tall with The Rock, which was at the very beginning of when, The Rock / Dwayne Johnson was making his impact within Hollywood to, I was a part of the stepping stones in a sense, or excuse me, I was a part of one of the films, which was a stepping stone for, his overall dominance within the, movie industry. We had Roll Bounce, we had, Hurricane Season, we had films like Dirty. I've continued to work after, But as of right, as of yet, I haven't had a role and I know this for certain. I've worked both in film and television, but I haven't had a role yet, or I haven't had a lead role. I'm still waiting for that day. I can't wait till I have a lead role, whether it's TV, whether it's film, that I get to have the responsibility of bringing a character to life and making it and telling this story. I haven't had that yet, so I guess that's why a tagline like "whatever happened to Khleo Thomas," as if I like died or something. I'm like, that's such a weird way to say it, because I've done so much stuff. I'm still doing great stuff, but the fact that they chose to highlight what I've been up to. They talked about the brand, which meant so much to me. This is E News, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Kardashians network at this fucking point. The fact that they, put together this really, really cool video. They showed me, and they said living his best life, and that meant so much to me. And let me tell you why it meant so much to me, because I can literally name off actors, off the top of my head, who come from the same background as me. Success at a very early age, especially within the entertainment industry, and they choose to take their lives in different ways, and it impacts them in a more negative than it does positive. And it meant so much to me to see that a network like E News could spotlight me for a second and literally say he's living his best life, because that's really what I am doing. I didn't choose to fall so deep within the entertainment industry to allow it to, almost control me when I didn't have all the power. I chose to create my own power and create my own world and create my own fun, because what happens is, once you're used to that system, all you know is that system. All you know how to do is operate within the entertainment industry world. And once it's ripped away from you, or once you're not as successful as you once were, and once you're not on set for 3 months, you start diddly daddling into other forms of entertaining yourself, is the best way that I can put it. And I'm thankful that for my family and just the type of person, my brain, I gotta be real with you, just my thought process that allowed me to shy away from the negative shit and just try to create my own fun and create my own lane. And that's what we're doing with the AwareWolvvves podcast. That's what we're doing with Slick Living. That's what I'm doing with Glam, with the Goddess Living Amongst Men brand. Goddess Living Amongst Men brand. It's all for a reason, and I think that it all worked out how it's supposed to. When the time comes where I'm get to audition for something huge, and if I do book it, and I have that responsibility, I'm ready for it. I'm built for it at this point. Again, so that was crazy for them to highlight the 15th anniversary of Holes. They put together a great write-up. They put together a great video for it, and they posted it on their Instagram page. Like I said, it went viral on Twitter. It became a meme. Like, everyone was like, holy shit, 15 years ago Holes came out, which is crazy to think, but it's the truth. Like, people get lost within time, and that's always kind of the funny part too. When people see me, they're like, wow, like, you got old. I'm like, nigga, it's 15 years ago. Do you look the same as you looked 15 years ago? But I understand the image in people's heads when they think of zero. So it's still cool. It's all good. It's dope. I loved it. Believe me. I thoroughly enjoyed giving people that moment. It meant so much to me, and it meant so much to other people. And I really, really enjoyed all of last week, man. So many great things came from it. The International Business Times ended up calling me, a week before the 15th anniversary date of Holes, and they interviewed me over the phone, and they asked me so many great questions regarding behind the scenes stuff, regarding the audition process, regarding what I've been up to lately, my next film, what's next for my brand, what's next for my podcast. They asked me so many great questions, and I enjoyed all of it. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, please head over to internationalbusinesstimes.com, or you can Google IBT Khleo Thomas Holes, and I'm pretty sure it'll come right up. Great interview that you guys can check out as well. Again, 15 years, man, since it. And like I said on my Snapchat, on my Instagram, and all my social media, my life changed forever after that release. I would no longer just be Khleo Thomas. I wouldn't be able to walk out of my house and just be Khleo Thomas anymore. I'll be zero to somebody out there. And I gotta be honest with you, I love that. I freaking love that. One, it's the coolest nickname to have. Okay, I grew up a Mega Man fan. I played Mega Man, the video game, growing up, and the coolest character in the game was Zero. That's one. Two, Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero. There is a character named Zero in Metal Gear Solid, another video game I played growing up. So believe me. Oh, and one of my favorite skateboard companies was a skateboard brand called Zero. As I was growing up, which is kind of going to segue into, I want to talk about everything. Regarding holes. If you didn't know, a couple weeks ago we did a Slick Living movie night, and I streamed Holes. While I live streamed the film Holes, and I was in the corner of the screen watching it with everybody and pausing and giving, small details about things that people never knew about the film. It was so much fun. I've been wanting to do that for so long because I think it's such a cool idea. I think it's such a cool idea for an actor to take the time out and, watch a film with the people who also watch the film and kind of give some cool, trivia or, fun facts about the film. And we did it. Had such a great time. If you're interested, if you're interested in watching that, by all means, please hit my messages on patreon.com/Khleo Thomas, and you can and I'll send you the directions and the information on how you can get a link to actually watch it when we did it. We're doing another one soon. We're doing Roll Bounce. As soon as I get to 400 patrons, we're gonna do another Slick Living movie night, and we're gonna do Roll Bounce, which is gonna be a lot of fun as well. There's a lot of cool things that happen behind the scenes of that film as well. But to talk about Holes for a second, this whole podcast is gonna be dedicated to Holes. I've never done it. I've never spoken about everything at once, so let's kind of cram it all in one. I think it's the perfect time to talk about a whole bunch of things. To talk about a second for the Zero Skateboard Company. I remember when I booked the film. I knew my name was gonna be Zero, which was cool, and I grew up a skateboard fan. I did everything. I played basketball, I played football. I was a skateboarder. I could kick flip like no one's business. I could board slide like no one's business. Like I was all around athletic and did every kind of weird activity as well. I had those. If you grew up as a skateboard fan like I did, you remember those CCS magazines. And it was all kind of different skateboard brands that were in there. Osiris and DC and Tony Hawk's brand. I think it was called Birdhouse. And there was what's that other one that was like almost anime girls, but it was like damn near half naked on these skateboards. It was crazy. My first skateboard I ever bought, by the way, was this. It was a skateboard company called Blind. So that I think I got that at the actual skateboard company. But when I booked the film Holes, and I knew my character's name was going to be Zero, I wanted to show up to set with a hoodie from the skateboard brand Zero that just had Zero across it. And that's exactly what I did. I ordered a gray hoodie from CCS magazine, and it was the gray Zero zip-up hoodie. And that's the one I wore on set pretty much every freaking day. There's pictures of it. My mom has all these great pictures, and we'll probably release them one day. By the way, if you didn't know, my mom put out her own, and she just published her own book recently. It's a behind-the-scenes look at the process of us filming Holes. It's really, really incredible. There's never before seen pictures. There's write-ups from every actor, every grip, every cameraman, the producers, the directors. Everyone wrote me notes about what it was like to work with me for the very first time. All that information is in there. It's a really, really cool thing. If you're interested in getting one, please hit my messages again on patreon.com/Khleo Thomas. So that's one thing about Holes. I also want to talk about the first time I saw my poster. Okay, so check this out. Crazy story. I went to Disneyland. It was me and my brother Kadeem and Louis Sacker, who is the writer of Holes. It was his daughter. It was us three. And we go to Disneyland. We just say, hey, she was hanging out for the summer. They were in town, so we said we're gonna go to Disneyland, and we did. So we're in Disneyland, we're having a great time, and we decide to go leave Disneyland and just walk through downtown Disney for a second before going to California Adventure across the way. So we leave Disneyland, we take a right. If you're following me, if you've been to Disneyland, you know exactly how I'm describing this. We leave Disneyland, we turn right, we start walking through downtown Disney, and then we get to the movie theaters, guys. Right? If you've been to Disneyland, you've been to downtown Disney, you know where the movie theaters are. We get over there, guys, and the biggest poster. It's a banner. It's not even a poster. It's a huge, and I have it. My mom has that too. Now that I think about it, it's about. Oh, it was at my pop-up shop when I did the Slick Living pop-up shop here in Los Angeles. It was in the window. It's huge. It's the big Zero. It was a big banner, and it had my face on it. And guys, I freaked out. I freaked the hell out. You got to understand, man. Like, it was a dream to be an actor. That's all I ever wanted to be. Okay, it's one thing to shoot the film and then, the film's over with and I don't know what's going to happen. Like, I don't know when it releases. I don't know any of that stuff. It's like my first major motion picture film. But I'm walking through Disney. downtown Disney. I'm at Disneyland and I'm walking through and I get to the movie theater, guys, and I see this humongous banner with my face on it. Guys, I lose it. Like, I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, that's me. Oh my God, like, that's me. I couldn't freaking believe it. And it's crazy because Lewis's daughter, she didn't know that it was there. I honestly did not know it was there. You know, of course, my brother didn't know it was there. He was just there with me. So I run inside the movie theater, and mind you, I didn't have a cell phone at this time, nothing. So I run into the movie theater, and I'm like, Mom, I run into the movie theater, and I asked them to use their phone. I call my mom. I'm like, Mom, you gotta come to Disneyland. You gotta come to Disneyland. My poster's here. And she's like, what? What do you mean your poster's there? And I was like, Mom, please just get in the car and drive to Disneyland. Mind you, Disneyland is in Anaheim, California. Okay, we're living in Los Angeles, California. It's about a 40-minute drive with no traffic. So you can imagine what it's like with traffic. And I'm calling her at like 3:45 to come to Disneyland. So she didn't get there for like another hour and a half to 2 hours after I made the phone call. But she gets there and she sees it. And it was such a cool moment to be able to share, you know, with my family. I shared it with my dad came and my baby brother came. It was such a cool experience for us to be able to look at this humongous banner hanging on the outside of a Disneyland movie theater, and it had my face on it. Craziest feeling ever. So that's when I knew things were just going to be different for the rest of my life, actually. I was like, this is crazy. Like, that's my face. And it's huge. It's not like a poster. You know, when you're walking through the movie theater and have the posters like on the outside. No, this was a banner, guys. Like a huge ass, like NBA hanging retirement jersey type of banner up there. Crazy feeling, man. And so that was the first time I saw the poster, and I was like, wow, this is really, really going to be cool. Talk about some other things that went into maybe like even the promotion for Holes, some things that we got to do. They set up a school tour for us. It was me, Shia, Armpit, Zigzag, and X-Ray. We got to do. We went to a school and we got to talk about the film, and we had a great time at the first school. Nope. Time out. It's time for me to be honest for a second. I've been hiding this for a very long time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. The very first school that they set up for us to go to, Shia gets up there and talks, and then he invites me up to the panel, the podium to talk. Guys, I froze up so bad. I froze up. There's nothing but kids in the auditorium, and I couldn't say jack nothing. Like Shia talks about, you know, the film, the book, and how the kids have already read it, and here's some of the characters. You know, you got X-Ray, you got this guy, and I want to bring up Zero. This is Khleo Thomas. He'll be playing the character Zero, and I come up to the podium, and I just wave, and I can't say anything. But in my head, I knew what I wanted to say, but I leaned toward the microphone and instantly locked up, froze up. I couldn't say anything. It was all bad. It was it was all bad, man. That was the very first promo thing that they had set up for us. The second thing that Disney set up for us to do, they did this really, really cool idea. They kind of tied it in with the environment. They did this thing where they invited a whole bunch of kids to this field, and they got to go out there and dig holes with us and plant trees. So it was really, really cool. It was Shia didn't come to that one, but it was me, X-Ray, and Armpit, and Magnet, I believe. And it was so cool to be able to even share that. They, you know, the news stations came out, they covered it, and all the kids genuinely had a great time. They all got these red Holes shirts, which I'm pretty sure my mom probably still has that too. I might have to ask her about that one. Man, so that was a really cool promo thing we did. And then, you know, I want to talk about the press junkets. Mind you, like I said, guys, this is my first time doing a film of this caliber with a character of this caliber. You know, I had done Friday After Next before that. I had done a couple TV shows before that. I had done commercials before Holes, but I had never. This was the first film where I'm like, yo, I'm required to do so much more than just go to set, do my job, and then not be involved with anything until never. You know, now it's on everyone else to create this project, like what it was for me with TV. With Holes, you know, I got to really take, learn so much. Like literally, I just got thrown into the mix, and what was really special for me about it was the fact that, you know, I didn't come from a lineage of actors. All I told my mom is this is what I wanted to do, okay? And my parents did a great job of just helping facilitate what I may need in order to make this happen. The time comes for us to do a press junket. And what that is, again, we don't know what the fuck that is. Me and my mom, my dad, we don't know what the hell a press junket is. So they have to explain it to us. Like, oh, well, okay, this is what's going to happen. We're going to set you up in this hotel, and Khleo and Shia will have to do interviews pretty much all day. We're going to bring in all different type of companies, all different type of media outlets, and they're going to come into the hotel rooms, and they're going to interview you guys all day and ask you probably the same questions millions of times, but that's what it's required to promote the film. And we're like, cool, let's do it. What was really special to me about it was the fact that my mom, in the midst of all this, was learning as she was going as well, but providing me with enough information and knowledge of how to, answer certain questions and how to carry myself within the interviews. I had such a great time doing it. I had Shia right there with me, kind of, leading the way and gunning it as a whole. And then when they would ask me a question, I was able to answer it not only, with the clarity of the situation, but very professional, especially for my age. And I got to thank my mom for that, because again, like I said, we didn't come from, anyone telling us anything about this. All we knew is this is what I wanted to do. And I got to praise my mom for being able to take in what was happening and then being able to give me the knowledge in these moments to help me understand what was happening so that I could do it to the best of my ability. So we did these cool press junkets, man. There was so many different people coming in. I met someone from Japan. I met someone from China. I met someone from New Zealand. I met, all the major media outlets here, like, within America. Like, I'm watching Access Hollywood. Next thing you know, my face is on there. I'm like, holy shit, I'm on Access Hollywood. That was kind of crazy. A lot of people may not remember there was a game. The Holes movie and the website had a video game on the website for the film, and it's to help get ready to promote it, and it was Find Zero. That's what the game was. And you would use the keyboard and the arrows on your keyboard to walk around as Stanley in this huge desert, and you would pick up either water. There was like treasure chests everywhere, so you would pick up water, or if you open the wrong treasure chest, it would be a yellow spotted lizard that would bite Stanley, and it would take away some of his health. And then you had to find me. I don't know if you ever played it. It was the coolest thing ever, especially for me, because I grew up watching video games. The next thing I know, there's a video game that says "Where's Zero?" and the character has to find me. I'm like, this is incredible. It was the coolest. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you gotta understand, guys. Like, this is 15 years later, but I promise you that it had such a special effect on me that I enjoy it. I enjoy all. I respect the character of Hector Zeroni. I respect Zero. I respect the film, and I respect everyone who loves the film as well, because I genuinely love it too. I had so much fun in the midst of all of this that, to be 15 years later, for it to still have the same effect, truly, truly, truly incredible, man. The premiere. Let's talk about the premiere for a second, man. The premiere was so cool because it was at the El Capitan Theater here in Los Angeles, okay? I went to the El Capitan Theater in elementary school to watch a film. I couldn't tell you what film. I don't remember. But to be 14 years old, showing up on a red carpet of movie that you're in, what an incredible feeling. To have my whole family there with me. I got my hair braided. I was cornrowed up. You can go look at it. Shout out to the blue polo tee with the big chain on, by the way. Hella G-Unit, hella rap style. So I had cornrows, I had a blue polo on, I had my chain on, I had blue jeans, and I had blue Timbs, by the way. I was hella New York with it for God knows what reason. So we do the premiere, and then the after party is across the street at the Hollywood Highland area. And I remember I remember showing up, guys, and which is the crazy. So they had themes. Okay, so at the after party of the premiere of Holes, there was different themed areas for different characters. So like Caveman had a caveman's they had caveman's like a whack-a-mole. They had X-rays pin the tail on the donkey area. They had squids guess your weight. And they made it really cool. Like they made it like almost like a carnival. You guys are never gonna believe what they had for me, guys. You'll never believe this. They had Zero's basketball dunk. guys. Like, I'm living my dream at this point, guys. I show up to the premiere of my film in the after party, and it says Zero's basketball dunk, and it's a whole shooting basketball thing, like, you know, like the shootout, like what you would play in Dave and Buster's, but it has Zero's basketball dunk over it. Guys, I lost my goddamn mind. Me and my brother Kadeem played that the whole night. I wasn't trying to talk to nobody. Mind you, again, I'm young at the time. I'm not understanding this is the premiere. I should be shaking hands. I should be showing my face more. I'm like, yo, I'm living in the moment. This is so much fun. I can't believe this is really happening to me. Crazy, man. It's just crazy to think 15 years later, this film has such a great impact, and it's going to continue to have an impact. And, you know, if history, like the history shows, anyone who watches this film or anyone that reads the book are instantly captivated by the storytelling of it. Like I said, it's still a required reading book in schools. It's still a part of a curriculum that lets students read the book and then watch the film. Now, I've done this several times here in Los Angeles. I've shown up to schools out here in Los Angeles and surprised the kids and asked and answered questions about it and about the film, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that. But I know there's schools across the nation that get to read and watch the film, and I would love to go to these schools. I would love to show up as a surprise, because what better character or what better segue than Zero, the character who couldn't read, you know, who didn't have an education. I think it'd be the perfect, you know, it mends perfectly. So I've been trying to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen, for years. I've been trying to figure out who I need to talk to. Do I talk to Scholastic? Do I got to reach out to someone at Disney? Do I reach out to whoever the hell is the head of education when it comes to the nation? Who do I talk to? Because it'd be so cool to not only do it here in Los Angeles, but yo, surprise some schools in the Midwest, surprise some schools down south, surprise some schools on the East Coast, and because I thoroughly enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy that moment with the students, man. You know, to get these questions from them, and you know, even hear their theories on things is so freaking fun, man. Again, I've said it once and I'll always say it. I feel like the character Zero in the film Holes is one of those lottery ticket type of roles. There's actors who do a role and they've done a great job at it, but it gets wiped away immediately, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, that was great, and that was it. So you either never hear from them again, or you know, it's the beast of the industry. For me, the character Zero, the film Holes, is one of those things where, like I said, it's a lottery ticket type of role. It's one of those things that continues to give to me every single day, and I have no issues with giving back from it. None at all. And I wish, and I hope I figure it out, man. It's something that I thoroughly and really, really want to do, man. To do the Slick Living movie night and live stream the film and watch it with people who wanted to watch it with me and answer questions and everything like that. That was me giving back because the film has given me so much. And we're going to continue rocking like that, man. Like, that's the plan for me, man. Like, 15 years, guys. 15 years, man. That little guy he's a cool guy, bro. If you ask me, Hector Zeroni's a cool little guy, bro. And I'm a fan, dog. I'm a fan. So many great websites and great news articles picked up the fact when I put on the jumpsuit. Like I said, it went viral. The Twitter retweets and likes are through the roof. Like, it went really, really viral. And it was so dope to see all the websites make sure to mention Slick Living, to make sure to mention Glam, to make sure to mention that I was going to be signing 5 Holes DVDs and including them in 5 random packages from anyone who made sure to go and make a purchase on SlickLivingApparel.com while we had those 15th anniversary Zeroni T-shirts up. That was so cool for me, man, and that's what I'm saying. This is a role and a film that keeps giving back to me, and that's why I want to continue to figure out ways to give back to the people who thoroughly enjoy the film, the characters, and the all-around legacy that is Holes at this point, man. I love it. I freaking love it. Wow. So much fun last week, man. So much freaking fun. What else did I want to speak on? Oh, okay, guys, I have a confession. I've never talked about this. Okay, so there was something that I did way before you guys ever saw my face. Like I just mentioned, I had done some projects before Holes. Holes was not my first, go around. like I said, I had done TV. I had done TV shows. I had done commercials. I was in Friday After Next. That was my first major film, you know. But I was sitting here and I just got reminded of something that I did way back. If any of you are familiar with the actor Tyler Hoechlin, I believe he's on Teen Wolf. Me and him did a project together. And when I say we did it together, I mean like we were just in the same thing. But like he was the lead and the star of this project that we did together. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this: if you guys can go find it, if you guys can find it, screenshot it and send me a picture of it. The first person to find it, I will literally send you a signed Holes DVD and a Slick Living care package to you if you can find this thing that we did. I'll give you a hint. Back in the day, Disney used to make these sing-along videos. And by the way, me mentioning Disney has nothing to do with why I got why I ended up getting the film or ended up getting the role for Holes. Like I said, I never came up to jump off track for a little bit. That's why when people ask like, "Oh, how'd you get the role of Holes or the role of Zero?" Because it was so out of the blue. I came out of nowhere. I didn't come through the ranks of the Disney shows or anything like that. I was literally casted out of the blue. And I'll tell you guys, if you go read the International Business Times interview, I talk about the names that I saw on that list for the role of Zero. Guys, I tell you, that list was stupid long. And there was so many names I recognized on that list. I talk about all that in the International Business Times interview. To jump back to what I was saying, a long time ago, Disney used to do these sing-along videos. They probably still do them now, but it was this VHS tape. And it was a Halloween-themed sing-along tape. And it's really cool. I found it the other day. I watched it. Couldn't believe it. To see myself that young, I totally forgot about it, but I'm definitely in it. If you guys can go find it, me and Tyler Hoechlin are in it. Screenshot it. The first person who can screenshot me when they see me and send it to me, I will send you a care package. This is something special. This episode is really special to me because, like I said, I'm wrapping up all of the great things that happened last week with the 15th anniversary of Holes. So I want to keep this up. I may make this completely public. You know what? I am going to keep it public. Like I said, this is something special to me, something special to the people I'd rather everyone be able to, kind of chime in on this whenever they do find it, even if they're brand new to the AwareWolvvves podcast, if they're brand new to Slick Living, if they're brand new to Glam, if they're brand new to Khleo Thomas as a whole. This would be something cool for them to be able to listen to, man, and give my, cool takes on the things that have happened since, the filming and the release of the film Holes, man. Also wanted to tell the story really quick about the time we pissed off the warden, the actress Sigourney Weaver. She got really, really pissed off at us on set because we were shooting in Ridgecrest, California, ladies and gentlemen, where it was very, very hot, very extremely hot. And Shia gets the idea of going and getting water guns, but not filling them with water, ladies and gentlemen. He wanted to fill them with condiments. So we filled them with ketchup and mustard. And we had ourselves a good old-fashioned squirt gun condiment fight, and a lot of the ketchup and the mustard got on the warden, aka Sigourney Weaver's trailer. And guys, let me tell you, she was not happy about that. She was not happy at all, ladies and gentlemen. True story, man. That really happened. That was so much fun. Man, like I said, there's so many other great things to talk about with this. This is what I really want to do about this. I want to sit down with my mom because she will be able to bring up so many things that I may have forgotten regarding that time, because it was me living out my dream and her really just being along the ride with me. But the fact that she kept the the jumpsuit, she kept the hat, she kept the bandages, she kept so many great things from this incredible film and this incredible time in my life that I get to speak on it 15 years later and give it back. It's such an incredible feeling. So I want to be able to share that with you guys. So I plan on interviewing my mom next. I plan on interviewing my mom, bringing her onto the AwareWolvvves podcast and asking her some questions and having her remind me of some things so I can tell you guys some more stories about that particular time when it came to that. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the AwareWolvvves podcast. I go by the name of Khleo Thomas, aka Mr. Slick Living, aka Slick James, aka Slicker Than Your Average. I want to thank everyone for pledging to the AwareWolvvves podcast on patreon.com/Khleo Thomas. Like I said, this was something so therapeutic for me and so fun. You know, I get to give back and get to speak on some real life things. This episode I wanted to dedicate to Holes because last week, 15th anniversary, had so much fun. So many great tweets. So many people getting reminded. So many people having a what the fuck moment. What do you mean it's been 15 years? People freaking the fuck out. That was so cool. And for people to be able to see, you know, Zero all grown up, I think that was a cool thing to be able to give back to the people. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be aware. The AwareWolvvves are here.